Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. I apologize I haven't posted in a while, but life has been very hectic. This video is going to be another one about South Waterloo International Airport, which is my most advanced, realistic looking airport that I built so far. I plan to hopefully build another airport this summer when I have a little bit more time. But for now, I'm going to be just using ESW, which is the code for South Waterloo. So without really anything else to say, except I'll be trying to post a little bit more often once I get a chance to, let's just go ahead and get into the video. Starting us off here, landing on runway 10 left is this Spirit Airlines Airbus A320neo arriving in from Dallas-Fort Worth. This flight will be taking off in a couple hours for New Orleans. And over taxiing to runway 10 left is this Air Canada Express CRJ 900 LR. This flight is on the turnaround to Edmonton. Up next we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the California 1 livery. This is a very nice model and I like it a lot. This flight just arrived in a little over an hour ago from Dallas Love Field and will be taking off for San Diego in California. Up next we have this FedEx Express Boeing 767-300 freighter. This flight has just arrived in from Indianapolis and will be departing out for the long flight to Dublin. Over at the hard stands, we have another Air Canada Express CRJ 900. This flight arrived in from Vancouver in British Columbia and will be headed back out there in a couple minutes. Taxiing in from Guadalajara is this Volaris Airlines Airbus A320neo in the 100 Avions with the 100 Avion sticker. This flight will be taking off for San Jose del Cabo in about an hour and a half. After that, we have another Southwest. This is a Boeing 737-800. This flight just arrived in from Kansas City, a pretty short flight, and will be taking off for Cancun here in about an hour and 50 minutes. Pushing back for the flight out to Keflavik in Iceland is this Boeing 757-200, Iceland Air in the National Geographic livery. And taxiing out to runway 10 left as well is this Frontier Airlines Airbus A320neo in the Poppy the Prairie Dog livery. This flight arrived in from, I'm trying to think of the name, what is it called? Mexico City. Don't know why that took me so long, I apologize. Which is a new route that Frontier has just started here at ESW. And it is currently taxiing out for the flight out to Montague Bay, which is also a new route. Frontier started some new low-budget routes here at South Waterloo. After that, at the top of the screen is this FedEx Feeder Cessna 208B Sky Caravan. This flight has just arrived in from Lamar in Colorado, a small airport that they run cargo flights to, and will be headed back out there in a little while. After that, at the bottom of the screen is another FedEx Feeder. This flight has just arrived in from Lubbock. Wow, I need to work on my pronunciations, I apologize. And later we'll be heading out to Wichita Falls. Over the international gates, we have this British Airways Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner in the flaps down mold. This flight has just arrived in from London Heathrow and will be headed out there in about 2 hours. And up above that is the Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300. This flight has just arrived in from New York JFK and will be going back out there in about 45 minutes. Starting us off at the bottom of the screen, we have this Alaska SkyWest Embraer E175. This flight has just arrived in from Seattle in Washington. And after that, we'll be headed out to Spokane. Moving on to our second Alaska for the day, we have the Alaska Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 9. This flight has just arrived in from Los Angeles and will be going out to Portland in Oregon later. It's about to push in. Moving on to the Delta gates, we have this Delta Airlines Boeing 737-900ER. This flight has just arrived in from Salt Lake City and will be going out to Atlanta here in about 15 minutes. And lastly, for Delta, we have the Delta A321neo. This flight has arrived in from Atlanta about 45 minutes ago and will be departing out to Detroit in roughly an hour. At the bottom of the screen, we have the Spirit Airlines Airbus A320 with the fence tips. This flight is pushing back out to Columbus in Ohio after arriving in from Las Vegas. Moving on, we have this JetBlue Airbus A321 in the streamer's tail. This flight arrived in from Washington, D.C. about 20 minutes ago and will be headed to Boston. Moving on to Southwest, we have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. This flight arrived in from, trying to think of the name, St. Louis, and will be headed out to San Antonio, Texas. At the bottom of the screen, we have the Southwest Airlines arriving in from Phoenix. This is a Boeing 737-800 in the Freedom 1 livery. This flight will be departing out to Boise in about 25 minutes. Moving on, we have this United Airlines Boeing 737-900ER. This flight arrived in from Houston Intercontinental and will be departing out to Los Angeles. And after that, moving on to American, we have this American Airlines Airbus A321neo, a new model in my collection. This flight just arrived in from Dallas-Fort Worth and will be departing out to Chicago. And lastly, for the update, we have this American Eagle Embraer E175. This flight has just arrived in from Spokane in Washington and will be departing out to Kansas City. That does wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing because it helps out the channel a lot. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for watching my videos, subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you have a good day. And yeah, thank you guys so much for almost 800 subs and almost 1,000 subscribers. Have a good day.